Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Outlive the Labels. Listen, I have an excellent show lined up for you today. We have a special guest in the studio. His name is LeMarcus Newman, and he has done so many awesome things. And I'm just so excited to interview him today. He's going to just share with you a little bit about himself and all the things that he has going on. But let me tell you a little bit about him. He is Black Enterprises Magazine's top 100 modern man. He is a 2020 Mentor Finalist of the Year. He's also the program manager for My Brother's Keeper, supported by the Obama Foundation. He's also the CEO of the Newman Foundation as well. So, LeMarcus, listen, I need you to share with the listeners a little bit more about you and just give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Thank you, Mary. I appreciate you. And Mary, I've been following you for a while, so you've been doing an excellent job in the community and also interviewing such great people, that's doing a lot of influential things in the community. So a little bit about LeMarcus Newman, originally from Houston, Texas, grew up in the inner city, was just city of Houston has been, my backbone. I ride or die for H-Town in Texas. Grew up, as I say, in a neighborhood called Hiram Clark, which is in the subdivision, about Sunnyside and the South Park and the Third Ward. Everybody heard of those locations because of rapper Lil Flip, Destiny Child. You got Beyonce and former member LaToya Luckett and Scarface. So I grew up around those areas and seeing those guys in Queens quite frequently growing up. Came out a word in high school, same high school that Mike Singletary went to. And I struggled a little bit. And if anybody read those articles in that Black Enterprise, I struggled a lot growing up, especially with my grades and things like that. So went to junior college. I ran track, played football, went to junior college up north in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton was far away. So it was a culture shock. And now here in Texas, it's so cold. And I just remember those days in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Mary, boy, when you talking about cold, it was freezing cold. I'm a Texas boy. So for me to go to school up there, it was very cold. But it was one of the last scholarships that they had available for me. And coach named Mike Duda, he took a chance on me. And I went up there and made it my best, transferred from there and went to another junior college, Cloud County, during the springtime where I ran track at, and then got enrolled at Kansas State University, and then also received my associate's degree that summer from ACC. Ended up didn't really work out with my grades and academics, and then went to Texas A&M University in Kingsville, played football there, and met a mentor of mine, Dal Green. Dal Green actually played 21 years in the National Football League, and he was the 28th pick in the 1983 draft. And I met him at a Super Bowl party. We talked, knew some of the same family members, and man, he opened his house up to me, and it's been a blessing ever since. So, just to have somebody like Dal Green and Gene Upshaw to mentor me, that was a blessing. Got an opportunity to play in the league and started to give back. My main thing is I wanted individuals and young kids and young women just to see somebody that come from the same neighborhood that they came from, just to have opportunity. The only thing I needed was opportunity. So I wanted to be able to provide opportunity for those young men and young women. So we started, I created the Newman Foundation, started to give back to the community. I donated a pair of shoes to all of the, for Fort Bend Marshall High School. I paid for all of the brand new shoes. They had the Olympic track spikes before the Olympic team actually had the track spikes. So they had the track spikes, the lime green track spikes. I remember it, and they rode up to their state championship. So I bought all those young men track spikes that year. And I was young. I was probably like 27, 28 years old at the time. And just started to, give back to the community and provide those opportunities. From there on, I went to work for the government a little while. I became one of the youngest African Americans to be a GS-13. I speak Arabic, speak different languages, and I moved up fast within the government, managed a group of interpreters, and took my talents on from there to Texas Southern University, where I helped them responsible for bringing in $41 million with an excellent team, and sent a lot of students over from the Middle East, and also brought over the prince from Kuwait to meet with the president of at Texas Southern University at the time. And from that on, the prince sent all of his students that was in the United States to Texas Southern University. Texas Southern University is a HBCU. So they never seen those many dollars come into that university at one time, and we was able to leverage that relationship that I created in Qatar, Doha, Qatar, at a football game. Just basically a small conversation that I had with the Prince of Kuwait. Didn't even realize that he was the prince of a country like that, and we developed a great relationship. Our relationship still going on and strong. Brother from another mother, and Prince Al Sabah. And he sent all his students that was in the United States to Texas Southern University. And what that does is, once that tuition, they pay for their student fees and tuition fees, that brings dollar to our HBCUs. So therefore, our HBCUs be able to provide scholarships and things like that to inner cities kids such as myself. So providing opportunity. One, we giving them education, and then two, we provide opportunities for our young men and young women in the city that want to attend historically Black college and university. I caught the eyes of a guy named Noah Pinyak, who at the time was the director of MBK Houston. And we talked about giving back, and I went on and applied for the job, and now working for Change Happens, My Brother's Keeper, that's supported by President Obama Foundation. And Change Happens does a lot of great things in the community in Houston, and they have like 21 programs, and they're working all over Houston. It's like one of the number one ranked nonprofit organizations in the state of Texas. And they have an excellent CEO over there, Miss Helen Stagg, who I love dearly. She's a sister of mine too as well. But with My Brother's Keeper, we provide one-on-one mentorship, young men of color, predominantly at Jack Yates High School, the same high school that George Floyd attended. So, we're working with a lot of small minority business owners to be able to provide that one-on-one mentorship. And just recently, we did a 1,000 coat giveaway, which is excellent right now, especially with the weather.
Right.
And it was hot today it was so hot today we was giving those jackets out that we thought that, winter was over. But we did that event with Lil Baby and Quality Control, and it was an excellent event, and gave away 1,000 coats to these young men and young women, which was a blessing, and also to homeless individuals too as well, and with the help of one of our MBK staff members too as well, Stephen Benson. So it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Yeah, it sounds like a major blessing, and like you said, it's right on time now with these coats.
Right
listen, you guys gave away those coats, and I'm sure it was like like you said, you thought winter was over, but it came back with a vengeance. But listen, I gotta revisit something. This is something I know about you, but I don't know if the audience caught it. You say you speak different languages, and so what I know about you is that you speak 5 languages. So. Can you share with us just a little tiny piece, like a minute or two, about how that came about?
Oh man. So just one of the things is my grandfather spoke different languages, and I think that I have an ear for different languages. So when I was over in the Middle East, what I used to do, I used to talk to some of the Middle Easterns, like the Qataris, the Kuwaitis, the Iraqis at the time while working for the government. And what I noticed that they'll say certain things and I'll pick it up. And then also we had some nationals that was working with us too. And they'll speak in their language, some Filipinos, and they'll speak in their language, and I'm listening and picking up on certain different words that they're saying. And I'm like, hold on, something like gotta be. I was like, did you say this? And they was like, yeah, how you know? And I was like, man, I didn't know. Like, but just learning that I have actually an ear to pick up different languages and just to have that understanding. So, I think everyone has a certain blessing by God. And I just think that's something that a gift that I was given.
Yes. So give us a little taste. Give us a taste of one of those languages.
Okay.
I know somebody want to hear it. I know somebody's like, I want to hear him speak one of them languages.
Okay. Mahaba, salam alaikum, kaifa hala, shuf intahelu. So what I said, I spoke in Arabic, and what I said is, "Hello, how you doing? Look at here, she's beautiful."
Oh my goodness! All right, see, for the podcast listeners, you can't see what I look like, but you can imagine just my podcast art, and you can say it yourself. She beautiful. She all right.
Yeah, yes indeed, yes indeed.
All right. So listen, you told us about some of the things that you've been doing, some of the great work that you've been doing in the community, and all of the wonderful things that you have done over the years. And I know that's just the tip of the iceberg, but let's talk about mentorship, because we can already tell you know a lot about the subject, you know your stuff. So share with us what mentorship means to you and why it's important for our communities.
Mentorship what got me to professional football. What got me to gave me an opportunity to learn about financial literacy. Meeting an individual like Dal Green and our late Gene Upshaw, those individuals mentored me to become the person that I am today. Without those individuals being in my life, I wouldn't had a roadmap, to understand. Yes, I did was blessed. Yes, I was blessed to have a father and a mother. But a lot of times, as young people, we hear their advice every day, so we don't really catch on. So just to hear somebody else's ear, somebody that actually been there before, it means it was valuable to me. And just having an individual like Dal Green telling me things like, man, the first thing you need to do is purchase a house, because once you purchase that house gonna make you work. He was not lying, because you're gonna want to keep that house. And then after that, so it's just those type of things. And Gene Upshaw, we worked on this thing called NFL player engagement, and with Troy Vincent, who I also look at Troy Vincent as a mentor too as well. But we worked on a lot of different things together, and on how to give back to the community. I've seen them having camps where they was giving back to the community and just learning from them. So mentorship, I know that it's a key component into helping raise our young men and young women in the community. It's much needed in the process, because what young individuals need, they just need that roadmap. A lot of them just haven't been exposed to a lot of different things. So when you talking to somebody that been there before, that come from that same environment, you more to have a tentative ear to listen to those individuals. And when you listen to those individuals, then you start to ask questions. Well, how did you do this? How did you do that? And then those individuals, since they've been there, they are willing and eager to tell you. So mentorship is very prominent in our community. It's much needed. And be honest with you, you're never too old to have a mentor, and I recommend that anyone that wants to get in a certain field, maybe you want to become a rapper, maybe you want to become a doctor, lawyer, whatever you want to become, I strongly recommend to find a mentor that's in that specific field to help you reach the goal that you want to obtain.
My mic was muted, but thank you so much for that answer, because listen, I know that there are so many young people who either they're listening, or maybe somebody that's listening are going to pass on this wealth of knowledge to a young person, and maybe they don't even know what they want to do yet. But if they do know, if they have an idea, even adults, if you have an idea of someplace that you want to go, like LeMarcus said, like find somebody in that field to mentor you. And if you're not sure which direction you want to go, if you have just somebody who's a mentor, mentors have a way of pulling things out of you, or pulling ideas and seeing something in you that maybe you don't even see in yourself yet. And so I thank you so much for that response. So based on what you just said, like what over the years, I'm sure you've had some mentors. I'm sure you've had some people pour into you and pull some gifts and talents out of you. So share with us one or two lessons that one or two of the greatest lessons that you've learned from mentors in your life.
I think one of the things is financial literacy, just understanding on where to put your money at, how to take certain risks, having that roadmap to become successful, learning on who you need to deal with and how to treat the janitor just like you're gonna treat the CEO. So just having respect for all different individuals, not caring about titles. Because here you have an individual like Darryl Green who was playing 21 years in the National Football League, and then his first couple of years he drove his same buggy. So if you was just to look at him, you would see a African American male who's kind of short in stature. You wouldn't never think that he played in the National Football League unless you haven't seen him before. And the first thing you would have thought about him, oh, who is this old guy that's driving this buggy? No, he's an individual that played 21 years in the National Football League, went to multiple Pro Bowls, one of the NFL fastest man. So what I learned from my mentors is treat everybody the same, no matter how they look, no matter how they walk, no matter how they talk. You have to treat individuals the same. You never know who's who. So, and you never know who's listening. So that's one of the things that I take from my, a couple of things that I took from my mentors that, just have to treat everybody the same. And I'm going to be honest, that's one of my pet peeves. That's something I live by. I don't care who you are, where you come from. I'm going to treat you the same like I treat the prince of a country, the president of the United States, or you the teacher at a high school, or maybe you're a cashier at a local Kroger's, HEB, or wherever around us, or whatever. I'm gonna treat you the same.
Yeah, I like that lesson because a lot of people miss that. Treat everybody the same because, like you said, you never know who's watching, you never know who's listening, and you don't know who's who. So, and you don't know who that person might know. So to you, they might not even be that influential, but they might be connected to the person that's the key to your next level. So thank you so much for that wisdom. Listen, LeMarcus, I know we can keep going on, and there's so many things I can pull from the things that you said and just keep going. But because of the limited time that we have, we might have to just bring you back for another interview and talk some more if you're open to that. But in the meantime, tell the listeners where they can find you, all of that good stuff, your website, all of your social media handles. We're on Clubhouse now, so share that too. How can the listeners follow up with you and find out more?
Okay, one of the things is you can follow me on Clubhouse. Please tap into me on Clubhouse. I got a lot of wisdom. I give out a lot of information about mentorship, about credit score, about how to build a house with a little bit of nothing. Also, you can get at me on DM me on Instagram, LeMarcus Newman. You can catch me on Facebook, LeMarcus Newman. Also, I have a clothing gear out, Blessings on BlessingsGear.com. Check that out. I have a shirt for you too, Mary, because Mary, you got that law degree. So I got so one of the brands of our shirt is From the Hood, Blessed with a Juris Doctorate degree. So that's one of the things. Yeah. So we just want to represent that. So check out that Blessings on Blessings Gear. Instagram, you can check me out on LeMarcus Newman, Twitter, LeMarcus24. And that's pretty much it. Y'all get at me. Also, wifey, she does a lot of good things. She's CEO of the Boys and Girls Club out here. So y'all can check her out too. So we do a lot of good things in the community.
Nice. Listen, the power couple, they both doing it up. Listen, and Blessings on Blessings. You said blessingsonblessings.com?
Blessingsonblessingsgear.com.
Blessingsonblessingsgear.com.
Yes, indeed.
All right, check it out. I can't wait to get my gear so I can rock it and promote you some more. But follow him on all his social media. He's everywhere. Clubhouse, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, got the website. Check him out. Listen, you heard even some of the things that he mentioned that he's offering on Clubhouse. I told y'all,
Right.
we can go in so many different directions on the information that is stored up in this one human being right here. He got all the knowledge. So
And then
listen,
another thing I tell people all the time, like if they have a product or something like that, I have about 60 some thousand followers on Instagram. If you DM me your product, I'm posting it for free. I do that just for the love because I want to see our people shine. I want to give back to our community. I want everybody to shine. It's 2021, Barry. Everybody needs their love.
yes, I love it. And he's giving back. Listen, you gotta DM him on Instagram because listen, what better way to spread the love and to support one another than somebody with a major platform like that, with all of these followers, he's willing to share your product, your service, who you are for free. That is such a blessing. And I thank you even now, even though I thanked you before, I thank you for sharing my book. You were able to do that for me. And I really appreciate it. This man is for real. He's not just saying it, he's actually doing it. So thank you once again for this interview. It was such a blessing. It was such an honor. I know our guests got so much out of it, and we're going to get some more. If you're up for it, if you want to come back, the invitation, the door is wide open because there is so much in you to offer. And I just thank you for allowing us to spend this time with you today. Listen, you want to follow this podcast, you want to subscribe and follow and all of those things and share it with your listeners and share with your followers, whoever is tuning in, because listen, we want to bring you even more content. So we want to get the word out. So share this podcast, Outlive the Labels, share this YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the bell, all of that. This is actually a new initiative for me with Outlive the Labels. We're integrating some interviews, and this is one of our first. So we're starting out real strong for 2021. So stay tuned and make sure that you follow and subscribe so that you can get notified whenever we have new episodes and new interviews coming up, because we want to bring you some more great content. We had a heavy hitter on today, and we're going to bring you even more. We're going to continue to bring that fire. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, this has been the Outlive the Labels podcast, with your host, Dr. Mary Kaye Holmes. Thank you so much for listening.